Bang 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 ba 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 ba. Bang 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 ba 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 ba. Bang bang bang. This video is going to be about the bounce effect in After Effects. So let's go ahead and recreate this, and we'll make a new composition. So composition, new composition. And again, I'll make a background layer. So we'll have a solid color, and let's pick that bluish sort of color. And then we need some text. Well, this could be an object or anything you want to use. We like to use caps. I will take this and align it horizontally and then scale it up, say about there. And go ahead and place it on my screen where I want the bounce to stop. And then we'll go ahead and do our animation. So let's go ahead and go in about, this is a 2-second animation, 24 frames per second. I'm going to go into about 20 frames in. I'll look at my bounce and look at my position, so P for position. And I'll go ahead and keyframe that. We're also going to be looking at scale, but first thing we'll do is go through and keyframe the position, and then we'll go back and adjust the scale. So here I just want it to go, we're sort of animating backwards, so maybe just a tiny little hop up. It's the Y, we need to drag the Y. So maybe a tiny hop up, and then I'm going to use a trick. I'm going to go ahead and copy this last keyframe. So this is the bottom of the bounce, and I'll be using that over and over and over. So we'll do a few bounces. This one will be a little longer, or maybe a couple keyframes away. We'll paste that. Maybe go a couple more keyframes away. Go ahead and move it up a little higher. Let's say there are 3 bounces. Paste that again. Move it up a little higher. And I feel like maybe these are getting too close together. And then I'll just go back here. I'm going to move all of these over a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and move him off the screen altogether. So this is what we've got right now. We can make some adjustments. So I feel like that there's too much time right here. So let's go ahead and, that feels a little better. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I like the way that feels. It doesn't feel very springy, but we'll fix that with the scale. Let's go ahead and turn our easy ease on just so we get a better feel for it. Now it feels even more bouncy. And then let's go ahead and look at our scale. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to this just right before it hits the ground. And then I'm going to keyframe the scale. And then I'm going to hit U on my keyboard, and that'll give me access to everything I've keyframed so far. And I just wanted to be able to see where my position keyframes are. So again, I'm going to copy this keyframe because that's before the squash, and then we want it to be gone after it goes back up in the air, right? So we'll understand shortly. But this is what I'm going to be doing. So as soon as it hits the ground, I'm going to scale it in the vertical dimension, or in the Y. The first thing I need to do is unlink this chain right there. So that allows me to scale the Y separately. And so I can get this stretching effect happening. And because I've already keyframed the down position, and I can paste that again, right? And we want to paste that right before we squash, and we don't want to squash as much this time. Paste it again. And again, paste it right before the bounce. And then here we want to squash a little bit, but not quite as much as before. And that is it. And so what we've got now is this falling and a squash, back up, squash when it hits the ground, back up, squash, but not quite as much. And that subtly diminishes over time. So once more, we'll go ahead and easy ease these keyframes. See how that looks? So that's pretty good. I like the way that feels. From here, we're going to sort of do a trick, and we're going to reverse the keyframes and paste them. So he's going to be jumping now instead of bouncing. So I'm going to copy all of these. So just highlight over all the keyframes, Command C. Go a couple frames over, Command V. It'll put them right in their position. So this is going to be a repeat. Basically, it's going to be repeating over and over. That's not exactly what we want. What we want to do is go to Keyframe Assistant and say Time Reverse Keyframes. And when we do that, now it's going to do the same thing, but in reverse. And now I'm actually going to go ahead and just delete all of my scale keyframes because I need to redo the scale to make it feel like it's jumping versus bouncing. So maybe I should have titled this video Bounce and Jump. But what I want to do is give it a little anticipation, right? So it's going to squash down before it goes. So let's just let it do its little initial jump. And then here, so I'm going to say keyframe. And then here, I'm going to get him. So he looks like, so the bounce looks like it's squishing down. Copy that keyframe. And after it's already in the air a little bit, then I'll paste that keyframe back. So it looks like it's squishing down and then springs up, right? And then as it's in the, right before it hits the ground, we want him to start squishing down again. So I'm going to paste that and then have him squish down. And each time I think I'm going to have him squish down a little more. So it feels like he's really getting ready to jump. So squish down a lot this time, almost flat. And then about right here, I'll go ahead and paste that back in. So let's play through that just so we can see what it looks like. And there we have it. We'll go ahead and turn on our, activate our motion blur, turn the motion blur on and play through a few more times. Now we've got bounce coming in and leading to a jump back out. Thanks for watching. Bang, bang, bang.